arrived to London, okay, I wasn't speaking English also, and my first job was in a pub. I was making £5 25 cents per hour. That was my rate because I my English was no good, and this is the only job that I can get. Right? They were paying me so little that every time the rent comes, uh, two-thirds of my salary goes to pay rent. So I'm left with only one-third, very little money.
Welcome to Entrepreneurs Are Leaders podcast with Harry Sardinas. Interviews with world's most influential entrepreneurs that share tips about how to grow your business exponentially. Charismatic speaking, leadership, branding, marketing strategies designed to help you monetize your knowledge, find true happiness, and manifest your goals and dreams.
What are the 4 steps for the R.E.S.T system, which is a well business system, identity to legacy? Today we have the founder of the system, Alexander Alchemist, and he is a serial entrepreneur, and he has several businesses, and he want to talk today about those steps that we can follow in order to build wealth and system from identity to legacy. So, Alexander, tell us, what are these 4 steps? What these REST, R-E-S-T, stand for?
Thank you for asking me. My name is Alexander Alchemist from Alma Alchemist Enterprises. And today I appreciate that you bring me to your podcast. And I would like to share with you that I didn't come up with a REST building system right away because I don't know all the answers. So it came to me because I have my own entrepreneurial journey, which has been constant transformation. I live in America 33 years and experienced financial struggle. I have a business successes, have failure, reinvention, like all of you, and many moments where I had to start over. But like many entrepreneurs, I believe that success was not about making just money, working harder, or find the next opportunity. But it's over time, I realized that something completely changed my perspective. I met people with tremendous wealth during my journey who was not truly free. They had businesses, investments, financial success, but they lack peace, purpose, and sense of fulfillment. At the same time, I met people with far fewer resources who live with clarity, meaning, and joy. And I was wondering how this can be. And that made me a different question to ask myself. Maybe wealth is not about money. Maybe it's about how we can think, how the system we can build, in the future we can intentionally create. So I look at it and notice that I realize that foundation of the system what I want to build has to come from the reverse engineering, which means R.E.S.T. Wealth building system stand for reverse engineering system and transcend. It's a framework, whereas people reverse their thinking, engineer a purposeful life, build system that creates sustainable wealth, and ultimately transcend personal success by creating legacy that benefit others. And for me, wealth is not just a destination. Wealth for me is a vehicle that allow me to live our purpose and live something meaningful for a future generation. And that's why I create R.E.S.T, wealth building system, where we reverse engineer the way how we see the wealth.
So, Alexander, tell us the story of you as entrepreneur. When I arrived to London, okay, I wasn't speaking English also, and my first job was in a pub. I was making £5 25 cents per hour. That was my rate because my English was no good, and this is the only job that I can get. Right? They were paying me so little that every time the rent comes, two-thirds of my salary goes to pay rent. So I'm left with only one-third, very little money to pay transport, food, and everything. And I kind of thinking, wow, if I don't remove this problem, okay, the out of the rent, I never gonna have money. So I started a business with the property where I was renting the whole house in London and renting room by room. I was sleeping in the living room, and that's it. I didn't pay rent. The rest of the rooms covered the rent and the bills. And I'm like, wow, I'm rich. I'm rich because I did this. Now I have. So next day they pay me my salary in the pub, and I have all the money for me. I have two-thirds. So I start to do this again and again and again. So I know arriving to a new country with no English is a huge challenge. I've been there. I was working Monday to Sunday in that pub, and I don't have enough money, and I don't understand what's going on. And working Monday to Sunday. I remember it was in the pub Britannia in Houston Station, and it was in the pub, and then I needed more hours, so it was a wine shop underneath Houston Station called Treasure. They're selling wine. And I asked Paul, the manager, look, I need more hours. And the manager was telling me, Harry, but you're not tired. I said, look, I need the money. I cannot live with it's not enough. I have to pay rent, I have to pay transport, I have to pay food, I have to pay my house. So I need more hours. And Paul said, okay, I give you hours in the weekend. It's up to you. And that's the other thing. Nobody wanted more hours in my work because everybody was living in UK, they're living in the parents. The people that were working in my pub, they need the money just because they bought a BMW and they want to pay the thing, but they were living with the parents, right? Everybody was secure except me. So I needed all the hours. Of course, those guys in the
Understand.
weekend, they don't want to work. I go on a work. So Alexander, tell us about your journey, about your story, about your challenge, arriving to a new country with no English, and building your own business with no English. I know that one also. Even I used to own an English school in London, and I didn't speak English when I was the owner of the English school. And everybody was telling me, "Harry, you crazy? How come you have an English school? You
Right.
don't speak English?" That one
So,
of my businesses, right? So tell us about your journey. How
okay.
the good, the bad, and the ugly, because I know it's hard.
So the good things, well, if we can start with good, that I come to this amazing country, America, because I saw this opportunity. I saw that the possibility here much higher, and I can be able to achieve more success versus I have where I came from. I came 33 years ago from the country called Belarus and Minsk. It's the capital of the country, and I came here as a refugee. Because when I come here, I saved 3 years for $300 what I come to America. So I didn't speak English,
Wow, wow.
and I have $300. What's my saving for 3 years? What I put it away, and I didn't know I'm going to come to America. It was just how sometimes they call good luck, but it was not good luck. It's God provide us sometimes with answers, and I was able to in $300 when I come. I came. My wife was here too, and we are next month. She say we need money. We need to pay for rent. And I say, hold on. I have 300 only. She said, only it's 500. And I'm glad that we have the organization, a
Wow.
Jewish organization, which has helped us the time for a couple months. I really appreciate that and grateful. But I didn't have any money. So third month when I come, I start to go to work. And because I didn't speak English, I don't know how to sell houses, buy houses, and all that stuff. I didn't speak English. And in America, you don't speak English. What can you do? You can do a couple of things. You can do cleaning. You can do woman do babysitting, and man can go and do driving, or go and do pizza, or go and do cleaning, like a
Not
porter.
even driving. Now for driving, you have to speak English also.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, but right now they probably can. But that time, my car was like 15 years old, so of course I don't want to do driving on that car. I have to put the oil every second day just to make sure the car is in good shape. It was an $800 car. That's all I could afford that time.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is how I start. But the good thing again, the ugly part, that part is ugly, is because I didn't speak English. I didn't have money after 3 months. So I have to go to work, and I work for $5 an hour, not $5.25, but $5, I think. It was 1993.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
That's low for you. It's really low, right?
that's right. I mean, it
Especially
was a job,
where you were, right?
right? Yeah, I was in Baltimore at the time. I came to Baltimore, Maryland. It's a beautiful state, but that's how I start. I start where I have to start. And we was working together with my wife. We want to make sure they want to pay rent and so on. And of course, time goes by, and I build the business. And after I learn how to work for somebody else as a carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, house cleaning, I started my own. And in 7 years, I was built business with about 500 plus clients during the 7 years. And I sold it to my partner, like strategic partner. So I sold the business, but of course, that time I didn't make a lots of money because I have to learn what to do. So I did make some profit, but mostly I pay off my bills, pay off my credit, what I have. So I am like you, start from nowhere with basically not enough money at all, and didn't speak English.
Yeah,
So
but Alexander,
what
but
else?
one thing is to work completely different is to have your own business. So from where you get the inspiration to have a business with an strategic partner? Do you have any entrepreneur in your family? Somebody
Yes,
in
my
US told you
father,
that it's better. Ah, wow. Tell me a little bit about that.
yes, my father always been entrepreneur. He has different businesses. He was DJ. He was MC. He was also built the discotheque, and so I learned from him, and
Oh,
I helped
wow.
him when he get older, a little bit older. I came here. I was only 23, so I was very young, and I didn't have many skills. I basically come from army, what I served for 2 years, and in a couple of years from that, I came to America.
So what your dad told you when he find out that you have your own business? Was
And
he
what he
happy
said,
or he was worried?
both. He was happy and worried. The happy because I do something which is continue his way, and worry is because I didn't know how to run the business. So of course, I go on credit
And
cards and I
he
go on
knows the
debts.
challenges, and he knows the challenges of owning a
My
business. You need
father
to
was
have
not
the,
here. My father came only in
exactly.
2 years. Yeah. So
Wow.
it was a lot of financial challenges that time. So things got,
But do you
and
think
God,
that Alexander, because of this influence of your father, guide you to this path, right? To because only a very small percentage of the population are actually entrepreneurs. Everybody's easy to find a job, right? So do you think that because your father was doing this discotheque business and the DJ and so on, it was very entrepreneurial, maybe somehow you want also to be an entrepreneur without knowing that it's a bigger risk to be an entrepreneur than actually to have a job.
I think,
80%
I
of
think, yeah, I think
80,
that it depends on. I always was entrepreneurial. I wanna also do something in when I live in Belarus, but when I believe I follow in my father path because I have a younger brother. He is the one who worked 25 years for the company and never changed it. So it's just two different people, and I am the one who like my
yeah,
dad, and
exactly.
my brother like my mom.
Yeah, because entrepreneurs is in the genes. It doesn't come from family, right? I was the first entrepreneur in my family. Now my brother has a company finally, and it is doing very well. But it had become uh, a new thing in our family to be an entrepreneur, right? And at the
Right.
beginning was only me, and everybody was concerned. I studied chemical engineering in Cuba, so they
Yeah.
were oh, you should be find a job as an engineer. What are you doing making 525 in London wiping table? That's crazy. That's all my family thinking, you know what I mean? So Alexander, now regarding the problem, okay. Can you describe what problem we trying to solve for the traditional financial planning and wealth building strategies don't solve?
Yeah. Thank you for asking me this question because what I found is that I want to say is that traditional financial planning is incredibly valuable. It's very important. We need a good advisors. We need a good sound investment strategy. We need a good tax planning. We need a good estate planning. It's all very important. But what I have noticed that something interesting. Most financial planners begin with a question: what should I do with my money? And I become interested in your earlier question. Who is a person making those financial decisions? So what is important for me more is who you are as a person, your identity, versus what you're going to do with the money. Because I know that two people can have the same income, have access to the same investment, and receive the same advice, but yet end up with a completely different financial lives, right? Why this has happened?
100%. 100%.
Why this has happened is mostly because wealth is not created only by financial knowledge. It's created by identity, mindset, habits, value, and system we build around our lives. And that's exactly what I want to solve. I was able to put together a system which has come from identity to build your legacy and everything between.
Oh, wow.
So
That's very impressive.
Thank you. And this is what I want to bring to the world, to next generation, because it's always great to help next generation versus showing old generation what can be done, because, you know, it's not as easy sometimes. But that's great, because we have a lot of great people like yourself and others. My children, I have 3 daughters, beautiful daughters, amazing daughters, which is right now in some way following my steps in entrepreneurship.
Oh, wow. Your daughters, which one out of the 3, which one is entrepreneur?
2 of them. One of them
Oh,
is
wow.
one of them is she not just do massage, she also entrepreneur, helping businesses and women helping with their life, with their emotions and everything beyond.
Oh, wow.
Because I have
Very
daughters.
impressive. Very
Yeah,
impressive.
and second one, they have a business with your husband, like similar to rent cars. And right now, she is also planning to do something else in addition to that.
Oh, wow. You see the entrepreneurial,
Yes,
family tradition continues. So,
that's right. So what is
Alexander,
important, what I want to
go
mention
ahead.
here, is that R.E.S.T system does not replace financial planning. What it does is strengthen it by helping people become the kind of person who they can create, grow, and preserve wealth over the time. And I often say this:
100%.
most planners tell you what to do with your money. R.E.S.T system help you become the person who knows what to do with the money.
100%. And let's touch in few things, right? Because everybody talks about, I want to have 1 million and whatever, but you know what is even more important than that? Having what we call it the millionaire lifestyle, right? It's sometimes, and that comes from identity, okay? So sometimes the do you think that money is the most important and to have $1 million, right? But let me ask you a question, Alexander. If I give you $1 million right now, would you go back to Belarus? Nah, you say,
So
well,
what I
no,
want to do
Harry,
with the
don't
money.
worry. You can say, Harry, don't worry. I'm very happy in this country. I have my system. I have my clients. I'm happy here. And,
Yes, and using
so,
the R.E.S.T system, I want to share something. You just mentioned the $1 million. So
go
how I
ahead.
see $1 million? When you people receive $1 million, they mostly pay huge taxes, right? So what I will do, because I use the R.E.S.T system, it's a financial and spiritual system together, balance it. I can take half that amount of money and put to the good cause. So I will not pay in taxes. I will do legally great way to support so many millions of people probably with using that money.
100%. And also that brings you better
Because
energy
my
for your
vision,
life,
right, and my
better
vision
energy
is
for your purpose.
right. My vision is to open a nonprofit organization. Right now, I have a fund, but we want to open nonprofit organization which is called Zavet Foundation. Zavet means covenant, because I write also scrolls for covenant. So we can create foundation for the children, especially those children who are smart, talented, but they're not able to bring it up what they have, their talents. So I would use that money towards that specific purpose.
And now we come out of your system. I'm reading here because I love the reverse engineer of how you organize it, and it says here legacy first, right? And so, can you expand a little bit more about this? Because you see, we're talking about happiness, and this is important that our listeners understand. Money won't make you happy. What is going to make you happy is the difference that you make in other people's life. Like for me, for example, sometimes I'm traveling in the metro in London, and some people told me, Harry, I saw your conference, man. I did that, and look, I grow my business. These are my children, and I don't even remember which conference was. I don't even remember what they do. And when I arrive, I'm a little bit embarrassed in the metro. I take the picture, I sign whatever they want me to sign. But when I arrive home, I'm kind of thinking, wow, how is it unbelievable that I say something, I don't know in which conference, I make a huge impact in that person, and he's doing so well, and he remembers me, and so you get paid different currency. People send you a lot of love, a lot of appreciation. You don't get sick. I don't get sick. So many people, Harry, thank you so much. It's so much gratitude that because of what we create out there with our workshop speakers at R.E.S.T and the conference that we do, that people send you this positive energy, and you are more fulfilled and more happy than probably someone that have a lot of millions in the fund account. So tell us a little bit more about this, because this part that you said about legacy first, okay, which it means impact on the world, which it means transforming people's life, is part of your system, because at the end of the day, you want, like we want everybody in this podcast, we want all the entrepreneurs to be healthy, wealthy, and happy. Not only money, the other two factors that nobody care about until you get sick, until, I don't know, your daughter doesn't want to speak more with you, and you're not happy, because otherwise, what's the point to make all this money if you're not going to be happy, right?
That's right. Yes. So let me share with you how I come up with. Remember, I said reverse engineering. So what I saw that we can build the wealth backwards. That's what people do. They start with a product. How can I make more money or services? And it's great. It's awesome. But also, I believe that we can start from the question what we can ask ourselves. What future I am trying to create? And once you know what you want in your life, your family you want to support, the contribution you want to make, and legacy you want to leave, your financial decisions become much clearer. And that's what I meant by word reverse. Because reverse starts with the end of mind and engineering your life backwards. So instead of chasing opportunity, you begin creating opportunity that align with your purpose. So wealth become intentional rather than accidental.
100%, yeah. And then you attract it to you. Yeah. Like
Exactly.
even yesterday, I have a WhatsApp message that I say, Harry, we want your help in this. We're just gonna pay you whatever, and you know what I mean. So it came to you. You're not chasing. You're not chasing this anymore. You attracted. It comes to you. So the flow is different. And but it's important, Alexander, that I'm at a stage in my life. You're at a stage in your life that you don't need to prove anything to anybody. I think when I was young in my first business, I had to make this work because I had to prove that that I'm good enough. We always try to be good enough. We want to prove something. And when you're dealing with a lot of money, if your brain is operating in this machinery, right, and you don't have the fulfillment, what happiness really means, what being healthy really means, and all that, can get a little bit more crazy, and you keep chasing only money, 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 and then you find people that kill themselves with 20 million, and you're thinking, wow, this is crazy. How come this guy have everything, a lot of money, and end up their life? So legacy first, like I said, I'm a big supporter. So what transformation can you do in
Yeah.
human beings, right?
Yes. So legacy also is important because legacy give you money a purpose. Most people think legacy is
Mhm.
something that we leave behind when after we go, right? But I don't see it that way. Legacy is something that everyone can build every day through their
Uh-huh.
decisions, relationship, and systems they can create. Because when your future is trying to create, you want to have a financial decision where it's become much easier because you understand that legacy is not end of the journey. It's a blueprint.
Wow. So, Alexander, tell us a little bit more about system versus goals.
System versus goals. Thank you for asking. This is a great question because what we know is the goals, they are inspire us, whereas the system sustain us. Where goals, they get us excited. Wow, we have this, we're
Uh-huh.
gonna reach. But when we build system, we get results. I learned hard way because when I was building, I always
Hmm.
put the goals, but then I have a system in the beginning. I didn't know how to do it. And that's where my struggle was before because I didn't have a system. I always
Yeah,
struggle with the have a right system. And it took me only 25 years to figure
yeah.
out, yeah, to figure
No,
out
it's
overnight, right? 25 years overnight.
yeah. A lot of people talk about don't give up, focus in your goal. Well, it's number one, don't give up. How many times you see a fly goes through a glass window? So it's not
That's right.
giving up, but it's not gonna go through. You have to
Right.
change the approach. So the
Right.
go don't give up goes with something else, which is change the approach. And the other
Yes.
thing is like, yeah, you achieve a goal and then you have another goal. But one thing is to making the money or achieving that goal. Keeping it is different. And all of us entrepreneurs, we spend all our life making this product, making this business, achieving this goal to make this money. And then you find people, even in this podcast, people make millions losing, make millions losing, make millions losing. Okay. So clearly they have the capacity to make money, but they are losing it because one thing is to make money, completely different skill set is actually keeping it,
That's right. But
which is
also
which it
important.
comes what you said about systems, right? Keeping it
Yes.
is about
One,
system, about
I
becoming
study,
a good investor, right?
right. I read a lot of books for entrepreneurships, and I also study very wealthy people like Rockefeller and others. And what they study, they didn't make money building the product. They didn't make money building the services. They start with a legacy in mind. They start with a
Mhm.
system in mind. They start with the building the entity inside in mind. When they build that, then they start making all the how we call all the money they can able to build.
The
And
products.
right now,
Yeah.
yes, and right now, if people will start look at it from the legacy standpoint, like this, what do I want to leave in this world? And then second question, in order for me to leave legacy, what I want to leave, what do I have to do? And then if you want to build something larger, not a small, you need a system. And when you build a system, or sometimes people buy system like franchise and so on, when you system, you are able to use the system to build anything what you want. You can build any product, any services, and when you have a system. And that's what I learned when I go to the franchisee. I ask them, how do you become successful?
Hmm.
And they said,
It's
I
all about
become successful
systems.
because I have a system in place. I said, great. And that's what I do right now. I build system, reverse engineering system. I have an intelligence system. I have uh, called bespoke consciousness engine system, where it's connected our new generation. I call it is artificial intelligence, but we have different intelligence too.
Then, Alexander, if somebody is feel stuck financially, yeah,
Uh-huh.
what is the first step that they should be doing approaching the rest system? So let's say somebody's stuck now financially. What they should
So
be doing?
they can ask themselves most of the times they ask themselves question, how do I make more money? Instead, they can ask themselves, what kind of life am I trying to build? And they can write it down. So by starting with legacy, they can start backwards, which is allows them to see bigger picture, and they will know what is their end of the results, not only what is the beginning. Because that's where I stuck in the beginning. I every time didn't see the end, and I try something, and I try, and I do this, and I do that. But the idea behind, I was not always was able to finish it because I didn't know the end. Now I do.
Yeah, yeah. No, let me tell you a story. I always has a dream. I want to have a restaurant. Yeah, and I had this dream in London. I want to have a restaurant. And guess what happened? My property business was doing well. I owned the English school in London. And then I said, okay, let me open a restaurant. And I go there and I had that dream. I want to have my own restaurant. And but imagine back then I was very young. I even have hair back then. So imagine telling you about 16, 17 years ago when we opened the restaurant. And I didn't have any clue. Imagine about the branding, right? It was a Spanish tapas. And I call it Harry Spanish tapas. You know, if you have a Spanish restaurant, you call it Lola, Pepe, you don't call it your name, right? I have big ego back then, like I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a big deal, and I'm a big successful, whatever. So I called that thing my name. And wow, we started this restaurant and I'm back, same like the pub. I'm working Monday to Sunday. It's a very heavily operational. I realized that I didn't have any clue about business. My first business in property, I was lucky. It was a big demand for it. It was very profitable, and the school also was like a marketing to bring the thing from the rooms. But the restaurant was completely different. I'm used to rent one room for $700, 700 pounds or 600, and the tenant will stay there 2 years. And I'm just receiving all the money only for one. The restaurant is different. People are spending 20 pounds, and I need lots of them. So it's completely different dynamic, the restaurant, than what I'm used to. Okay. So bottom line, I spent 2 years in this business. I lost over 200,000 pounds. And my girlfriend at the time, so I kind of thinking when I have a big setback, like our life in entrepreneur, you have wins, you have losses, right? So it's not a straight line.
Yeah, I know that.
But I knew, Alexander, that I screw. I knew that I didn't know, back on the day. But the reason that everybody get away from me, like my girlfriend at the time, and I spent 2 years without seeing my family, immersed in that restaurant, and at the end, it was all for nothing, right? Or that's what I thought at the time, like what a waste of money, time, and energy doing this. I realized that things doesn't happen to you, things happen for you. So after I left this restaurant, I started to think, what is the life that I want to have, and what is the kind of business that I really wanted? Do I really want heavy operational business? So I hope I got clarity what I didn't want. I didn't even want have clarity what I want, but for sure I knew after this restaurant that I'm not as passionate as food as I thought I was. I like eat it, but I don't like cooking and everything. I see a lot of successful restaurants. What the chef is very passionate about food. I go to some restaurants and I see why the business is good. The chef, they're really passionate about this and they love that thing. I didn't love the cooking of the food. I just love eating it. I didn't realize that. So I have a restaurant, but what I really want is to eat my own Spanish food, right? So then out of the setbacks, you start to see what do you really want. And then you start to ask, like a lot of people telling, let's do this business. We're going to make millions. Yes. And I say, well, we're going to make millions. Okay, fine. But what is it going to take from me? How much time, how much energy in my health, how would this business will impact the life that I really want to create? Because as entrepreneurs, we have this benefit. We can create our own life. So, Alexander, tell us, more how you see AI and the future of AI when you are integrating financial uh, the financial work into this, because now we have AI that can, we don't know yet, is it really gonna help us, or still we need to take some decisions as humans.
I can say
Or now
thank you for.
all we're doing is paying a lot for tokens. I have my employees, now I have pay my employees, now I have to pay tokens because they're using these things all the time. And I just telling them the other day, guys, look in Google or something, because you're using this AI thing again and again and again. I have to pay the tokens, right?
Right? Yes. So I believe in AI from only positive way. Of course, everything can be different because I always compare gun. When we have a gun, it has two purposes, right? First purpose, protect. Second purpose is a kill, right? So which one you want? If you want to follow the one to protect, then AI is a great amplifier. AI, it's a way for you to move forward to make your life better, to create a system, to create your life, basically help you to create your life. It's like I call this, but also it can be negative if you use it for war, right? It's kill people. So we have to look at it only on positive side, because I believe more positive in the world than negative. And I don't believe that AI replaces human intelligence, because what we do work with intelligence. And I want to show you right now something. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. I'm going to close this.
Alexander,
You see right
disclose.
here? You see right
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
This is the best. This is 7 intelligence right there.
I
What you
don't
see.
see. You need to share your screen because I don't see. But
Okay.
also you have
Okay.
to describe it because some people might be listening in the car. So
I got it.
you
I got it. So what I want to say that AI
uh
will help us think faster, organize information, automate repetitive work, right? And communicate more effectively. But this will not replace our wisdom, value, vision, and purpose. True?
hundred
Because
percent,
all
100%.
will become human, right? So what we did, we create, it's the first one in the world, bespoke consciousness engine. What it is, this is our
Oh
AI
wow.
human intelligence system that work for you as an amplifier, your mirror, and like your super brain. Basically, it's a custom system what allow you to have the best friend. Not just GPT, not Gemini can do that. Yes, they're smart, but it's not a bespoke consciousness. And that's what we are bringing up to the world right now.
Oh
So
wow.
entrepreneurs who thrive, they will combine the human creativity with artificial intelligence. By using the technology as a tool, they will become more identity building than just using it as a tool, as a something what can make it bad or good. You have to look at it on this as a wonderful tool or a super brain if you know how to use it. Because what I found, most people not yet know how to use it. And when you learn how, or have mentors who will teach you how, not only operational side, but also narrative side, identity side, then you understand, wow, analysis can be done for me too. And that's what happened with me and my family. They say, wow,
Alex.
is it possible? I said, look like.
Alexander, if someone is in love with this conversation, how people can find you, how this process work, and how they can know more about your products, and tell us also what is last message that you have for our listeners and
Yeah.
for the people to watch in the social media for our entrepreneurs.
So I will say very important things. Don't chase your life when you're chasing the wealth. Build the person who creates this wealth. Build the system that protect you and use it to serve others as we're doing right now. Because our greatest investment will never be in stock market. It always be in the person you become. And I want to leave you with the 5 quotes, what I wrote down. First one, most people build wealth forward. We help people to reverse engineer it. The second one, goals inspire, systems sustain. And the third one, legacy is not what you leave behind. It's what guide you in make a decision today. Fourth one, money is a tool. Purpose, give it direction. And the last one, your greatest investment is not in the market. It's in the person you become. So start with legacy and go backwards to build everything what you want in your life, from identity to legacy.
Oh wow, Alexander, very inspiring. Alexander, if the people want to buy your books, they want to connect with you on LinkedIn because they want to find out more, or they want to visit your website. Can you describe how they can find you in LinkedIn, how they can find you in your website, where they can buy your books, the title of your
Thank you.
books, where do you sell
Thank
them,
you.
in Amazon or something? Can you tell us a little bit
Yes,
more about it?
yes. So they can find me in a couple different social media. One is Instagram, which is called Alexander Alchemist. That's how it goes by. And I can share with you later. I'm not alchemist. We all alchemists, many of us, but I am alchemist by archetype. And I know how to show every person what's their archetype. And I know that, Harry, you are alchemist too, because I have done soul code for you and reading. So you know that. And second is you can find me on LinkedIn under Alexander Alchemist Alperovich. I go by Alexander Alperovich, but also Alchemist in the middle. It's just easier to find. And the third one, our website is called narrativeentrepreneurs.com, where we talk about what we're doing as a business, also narratives, how we support businesses and help them to stand out from all their competitors, because we have a system what we developed from identity to the legacy. It's a part of how you can stand out from everybody else. And also they can find us by give us a call, 443-668-0078 or 786-213-2131. Thank you, Harry, for allowing me to speak here and bring this value to so many audience, people from who is listening to us or seeing us. And I would love to give them a special discount, or I call this gift certificate, value $250 for 30 minutes, where they can know more about who they are and what they can do next.
That's fantastic, Alexander. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. I think you're brilliant, and the concept that we are discussing today in the podcast is very important, because everybody out there, and even me, when I started my first business, all I want is to make a million and to do that, and you focus on this, and then when it actually happens, you don't even notice. You are so embedded in the. Even my accountant told me, Harry, you don't even notice when it's actually happened, right? It happens so fast. It happens so fast. And when you actually achieve that goal that was kind of imposed, this is all you wanted at the beginning, you realize, like, I remember I was thinking, wow, I'm gonna make a million. I'm going to the beach, and I'm gonna be 3 weeks, and I'm gonna be on holiday all my life, drinking mojito in the beach, doing nothing. It doesn't really work that way.
Right.
It lasted very little, actually, and I did went on holiday, but after 3 weeks, you're bored. You are like, what I'm doing here? Let's come back to work. You have that identity, and it's not what you think. You think one thing. Same with the restaurant. I have that dream. I want this restaurant. I'm gonna do this. But then when you are inside, you realize that, well, what I really want, and I'm going to sacrifice all the time of my life and work really, really hard, so many hours, just to make a million, which is, by the way, uh, it's more important to be healthy, and it's more important to be happy. And by the way, it's not that difficult to make a million, like we all think, right?
Yes, and I believe that what you mentioned is very important. It's called relationship with people connected with each other. So I want to bring up something what we can discuss later in next time. It's called relationship intelligence infrastructure or system.
Oh, wow.
Because it's like a business matchmaking in a completely new way. Most of the time, we go networking with you, people walking around, talking to each other. So what? I call sometimes it's La La Land. A lot of talking, no business. But the main idea is how we can connect it. So we developed the system, what we're going to talk later, next time, We
Oh,
developed a
wow.
system called business matchmaking system or relationship intelligence system, where we can explain people how they can be able actually match to each other and using their who they are as identity based on their connection. And I did this over 500 people already, just talking to you and some
Oh,
other
wow.
people. Yeah. And they was like, wow, how did you know all this? How did you connect together? I say, this is a small secret, but the most important is who is able to do it. So I can connect those people who you connect with yourself and those people who you don't know yet. I can connect them together using the intelligence what we have right now, which is part of the AI, part of our brain.
Wow, thank you so much, Alexander. The broadcast today have been fantastic. And for all of you following the podcast, see you in our next episode of Entrepreneurs and Leaders, how brave entrepreneurs like Alexander make business that make the world a better place. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Follow us for more on charismatic speaking, leadership, exponential business growth, branding, marketing, strategies designed to help you monetize your knowledge, find true happiness, and manifest your goals and dreams.